Hi everybody! Today we are going to read Chapter 5 entitled The First Direct Threat. When we are done with Chapter 5, that will be the end of Part 1 of I Am Malala. Before we get started, let's preview some vocabulary words that you will see in Chapter 5. Okay, the first word is scowl. A scowl is a frown in an angry or bad-tempered way. The next word is shoo. To shoo somebody or something is to make them go away by waving one's arms at them, saying shoo, or otherwise acting in a discouraging manner. Next, the word is blasphemy. Blasphemy is the act or offense of speaking sacrilegiously about God or other sacred things. The next word, deem. Regard or consider in a specified way, kind of like judging somebody. The next word is pious, and that is somebody who is devotedly religious. And the last vocab word for Chapter 5 is compromise. A compromise is an agreement or a settlement of a dispute that is reached by each side making concessions. All right. Before you read Chapter 5, I want to review with you what a plot diagram is. We have completed plot diagrams for The Lightning Thief, Percy Jackson, as a whole novel, and also for different parts or chapters of that specific book. After you read Chapter 5 today, you will have completed Part 1 of I Am Malala, and you will be asked to fill in a Google document that identifies events from the first 5 chapters to complete a plot diagram. Now let's go ahead and go over each element, starting with the exposition. If you take a look at this slide, you should recognize the plot diagram. Beginning in the bottom left-hand corner, we're going to start with the exposition. Now I want you to think about how Part 1 of I Am Malala begins. The exposition is the introduction of information. It really tells us how the basic situation is revealed. It's the beginning of the story where characters and the setting is introduced. When we make our way up to the plot diagram, our next element is the rising action. The rising action is that building of tension or excitement. The rising action includes events that set the scene in motion, and this is usually where the main character faces a series of conflicts. The next element of plot is the climax up on top. We know that the climax is the moment of the most tension or excitement. Okay, coming down the pyramid, down the falling action. The falling action is how the conflict begins to be resolved, that decreasing of tension or excitement. The events that are leading to the end of, not the story in this case, but of Part 1. And finally, the resolution is the ending or result of the action. It's not going to be the end of the story this time, but really how the part ends and how conflicts are resolved if they are. Now remember, many times authors will kind of leave you hanging. We call that a cliffhanger because they want you to continue reading. Sometimes the resolution will not be clear at the end of a part of a story. If you feel that that is the case in the end of Part 1, please note that on the Google document. All right, get reading Chapter 5. I hope you enjoy.